Hey guys, this is Random Stuff with Alex Hughes. I believe this is day 12 of the Self Transformation Challenge 30 days, where I'm mainly focusing on improving my mental and physical health so I can better handle any sort of challenges that come up, maybe stress, aligning my priorities, and better just managing my life. So today I started off with a 5 minute meditation, like usual, breathing meditation. I feel like I've gotten through a lot of the top results on YouTube in terms of 5 minute guided breathing meditation. And then I took a cold shower, which I feel pretty comfortable with now. It's still that initial hit of the cold water that makes you um, catch your breath, and you do feel a sense of energy, just like a rush of energy, especially for guys. And then I ended up having a breakfast that was a bit less than yesterday because I realized I've been eating more than enough, especially with this intermittent fasting. It's kind of deceiving because you think that I need to eat more. And so I had one taco and I had a portion of I believe it was that cornbread cake thing I made, and then I ended up having a bit of the smoothie that I made last night. Um, so that actually satiated me. Um, and then I did my walk, and this time I actually made sure to do a mindful kind of portion of the walk rather than kind of active dialogue in my head, because I think I need to practice more of mindfulness and just being aware of my emotions and my thoughts so that way I'm able to process them. I think the concern I had during school was that I wasn't necessarily processing my emotions um, on at in the present moment, so I was kind of letting things fester and grow, and the stress level was getting up there, especially during the fall, where I let I would say my subconscious mind take control in a lot of ways. So it actually was quite nice to tune into the birds and just the sounds of the morning. You know, it was a little bit darker than usual, and there was a heavy dew, but it was great to get that exercise and kind of get out in the morning. There's a couple other people, not so much in the rural area, but once you get towards the city of Vista, then you'll see more people. I watched more videos about intermittent fasting because I need some advice on what should I eat, how much should I eat during those hours, because I feel like when I transitioned from the smoothies last week to just going back to regular food, I felt like I think there was this notion that I had that I needed to eat more in order to get me through the day. But the reality is, I think the normal pattern of food that I was eating before was enough to actually hold me, and then some. So I was getting some advice about intermittent fasting, and then I came home to do my qigong, specifically with transmutation. There's a great channel for that, and I did my 18-minute meditation for breathing, and like I said, it really chilled me out. And the focus today was kind of deleting some images I had on my external hard drive. Some images that like at the beach, some horror stuff that I just want to get rid of. I moved on from that part of my life, and I don't want to be reminded of the when I was a kid. I was obsessed to a very concerning degree with horror films, and I just want to get rid of that stuff. It's garbage now. And so I had also got prepared for. I had somebody to come over, check out the electrical in my room because my outlets have been sparking, and I think that's a concern. So I kind of just cleaned up a bit, and then I ended up. What else did I do? I ended up. Oh yeah, I kind of cleaned up my bulletin board because there's some things that I don't really need. After close to 2 weeks, actually, it should be 2 weeks by tomorrow, I believe, because tomorrow's a Friday of this self transformation journey. So I have a pretty solid vitamin routine. I'm doing the nature walks in the morning, and then I'm immersing myself in nature when I do the basketball. I'm going to the gym. So I kind of have those as part of my routine. So I should add some new stuff that I've been learning over the last couple weeks. And then I ended up leaving for the basketball. And then I tried the meditation music, the different wavelengths. I believe it's low alpha, low beta, and I definitely noticed myself a lot clear headed when I was waiting on the platform and doing the mindful awareness. Um, and then I ended up getting to Oceanside Transit, and that's when I noticed myself start to get a little bit uneasy. Some uneasy feelings were starting to rise, um, but it was pretty temporary. It wasn't very high because of the amount of stuff I've been doing with vitamins and intermittent fasting. So that's actually taking care of a lot of those kind of strong emotions. But yeah, I ended up walking over to this park. It's on the east side of Oceanside, which doesn't necessarily get a good rap, because of crime and gangs and whatnot. But I think it's pretty much chilled out over the last maybe 10 years or so. So I went over to this park and they hadn't put the hoops back up, or the nets. So I just had to imagine myself shooting. I did some drills with dribbling using my right and left hand. Left hand, I noticed myself improving a lot more, and then I did kind of like a back and forth between my left and right hand, and then I did a little bit of practice with dribbling through my legs, and I did shoot some shoot baskets because it wasn't necessarily there wasn't any basket there. Um, so I ended up also listening to no fat videos about intermittent fasting and also kind of handling just general stress, because that's something that I think I let get the best of me over the last couple semesters, fall and spring. So I ended up listening to that, and I took the bus back so I could get home before the handyman came over. And it was nice that the sun came out because that really kind of energized me and put a little bit of pep in my step. I ended up getting home and I was able to install a couple of blockers on my laptop so that way I can um, make sure that no inappropriate sites come up, because sometimes you search something on Google and some stuff comes up, you're like, why is that coming up? So I installed a couple of blockers as extensions, and then I installed this great one that blocks images online and you are able to view it on a case by case basis, which is great for YouTube because there's a lot of thumbnails on there that are kind of scandalous, I would say, or they get you going. So I ended up installing that. I think that's quite useful. I might do that for violent content because I'm trying to reduce my exposure and my subconscious mind to that, because what you put in your subconscious mind is essential. You got to be careful with what you're putting in there. So I installed those blockers, got the handyman to come over, and it wasn't necessarily anything that needed to be fixed. I think it's a bigger issue with the rodents or animals in our roof that it's kind of messing up our electrical. Um, but yeah, after that, I had time to go over to the gym, and it was fairly busy because it was after work. I never went in the evening before, but yeah, it was quite busy. But I got to do weights, and I worked on about 8 pounds for my upper arms, and I was listening to a lecture about violence in the media because when I was younger, I was exposed to a lot of violent films because that was an interest of my mom liked horror films, and so we ended up watching a lot of pretty violent films that are well known, that were popular, and it affected my subconscious mind to a large degree. Not necessarily, I wouldn't say necessarily behavior. It's not like, but I was dressing up as the characters, the villains, and I did, have the weapons, fake stuff, for the most part. But I did notice a significant change in just the way I thought, I would say. So learning about the fact that these films actually do have an impact on children at a younger age made me realize that the this notion that it's just a film is pretty flawed, in the sense that they're there is scientific evidence to back that. There is an effect of watching these films, and the reality is it's garbage. So for me, I don't want to put this garbage into my brain. I don't even want to watch it at all anymore, because I realize how much it impacts your subconscious mind. So for me, I'm completely getting rid of anything to do with horror films, even some of the videos I put on my channel, because it reflects a part of me that was kind of manipulated by the media, and the fact that that's not who I want to become. Somebody that's obsessed with garbage, and this god awful, basically some of the stuff that I watched as a kid. The violence is absolutely abhorrent, basically, and it makes me realize why I became the way I did. And now I have a choice, and as an adult, to just completely get rid of that and to move on with my life. And I really don't want to watch horror films anymore because of the effect that it has on you. So I want to make more conscious choices about what I'm watching, and not just because everybody else says it's a good movie, or the Oscars say it's a good movie. Because I've been watching Oscar films, and I'm like, why did the person show that in the film? And it's a lot of the films are very explicit. So for me, I just want to get rid of that stuff. I don't want to see it. I don't want to engage in it anymore. And I just want to keep my subconscious mind clear and free of those external negative influences. So I'm glad I watched that lecture, because it's very eye opening. I don't know if a lot of people know about it, because they're busy watching Hollywood films, which are kind of garbage in a lot of sense. So I came back from the gym. I did a cold shower, and hoping to go to bed around 9 o'clock, but I'll have to see how that goes. But this is Random Stuff with Alex Hughes, signing off for today. And it was pretty good. I think the day went in a better direction as time went on, and I look forward to, looks like about 2 weeks tomorrow, and possibly the effects of intermittent fasting. And I'm definitely actually looking forward to going back to drinking smoothies again, because that fruitarian style diet actually worked for me, and it felt like I had a lot of energy, and I was thinking clearly, and I felt more in control, rather than this kind of cooked foods type thing that I've been having. So I'll definitely look into that, and I hope you guys have a great day.